Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is inspired by love. So last week we did the resin heart puzzle. This week I thought we would do something that was a little love inspired as well. We're getting back into the coasters. I know. I got a problem. I can't get away from them. But I did. I actually did get away for like 4 videos, I think. The love twist on this, we're gonna make a 3D resin bloom heart in these guys. Hopefully. I mean, if we can do 4-leaf clovers, I think we got a heart down. If you're feeling the love and you want to see me make a coaster set using the 3D resin bloom technique, putting little hearts in here, and how I finish these coasters by sanding and coating the edges in liquid leaf, then please keep watching. I think by now we're familiar with these molds. They're amazing. Purchased off the Etsy shop, Vera Supplies. They are great. You should check them out. I'll leave the information down below. But how are we going to do this? I'll tell ya. We're going to use Counterculture DIY Artist Resin. So this will be a 2-part pour. So I'll mix a batch of resin. Now I'm going to pour it into a larger container. The reason for that is we don't want that thermogenic process of the curing of the resin, that heat, to force it to cure up way faster than we expect. So placing it in a larger, wider container kind of helps dissipate the heat. It's not all that heat all together in a small container, which usually causes it to kind of cure and smoke and scary things happen. Let's avoid that at all costs because my ticker can't take it. You know what I mean? That's what this is all about, love. So I love myself and I don't want to cause myself that drama. So we'll mix our batch of resin, pour it into a larger container, let that set for 20 minutes, lets it cure up just a bit, makes it nice and thick. Then I will fill all 4 coaster molds about halfway up. Then with some of the remaining resin from that, I will mix in Cast and Craft. This is really the magical part that makes that bloom happen. It's kind of heavier, it's an opaque pigment. So that Cast and Craft will tint that resin white, but I want it to have a little bit of a shimmer to it as well, which is why I usually add a mica pearl pigment. So I'm gonna be using Pearl X Macro Pearl to also add to that Cast and Craft mixture. And like I said, this just gives it a little bit more dimension. To the Cast and Craft mixture, I'm also going to add a little white opaque dye. I think adding this pigment will make it just a little bit more opaque, which will make it pop. Then I'm going to take that mixture and I'm going to put it in our handy dandy piping bag. And the trick with this that I've learned, the hard way, as everything on this channel I've learned the hard way. Actually, that's not true. A lot of you leave some really amazing comments, and I can't thank you enough for how helpful and the great tips you all have been giving me, so thank you. But a lot of the things I still end up learning the hard way. But this is an amazing little trick. So I'll have my little hard plastic container, which I used before, and it cracks a little, and I'm just gonna shove my piping bag down in here. Like so. I will then pour that Cast and Craft / mica pigment in there. Pull it out. Squeegee it down here and then just cut the tip off the piping bag. And then I'll begin to pipe our heart shapes. I don't imagine that's gonna take too long. And hopefully all will go well. I will say the 3D bloom technique is kind of finicky. I actually had someone request another 4-leaf clover coaster set. I had to make it 3 times. 2 of the times the bloom didn't quite work out and I followed what I thought was the same rules. The heat gun, I think, is the main thing, which is if you can avoid it, do not want to use a heat gun once that 20-minute waiting period's up, because applying heat again to your resin loosens it up and makes it thin again. When you make it thinner, your Cast and Craft mixture will then spread more. But in this situation, the heart is a simple shape and I think that it'd be okay if I heat it up, and I might actually want it to spread a little bit more. I think it could look cool. The 3D bloom technique, there are a lot of variables. I think the temperature of your room, the use of a heat gun, the type of resin you're using, how long you actually let it sit, and I think letting it sit longer is better than not letting it sit long enough. You should almost feel that what's in your piping bag is starting to get warm, not hot, but starting to get warm before you actually start piping in it. Usually I've had better results when I've done that. Once that is all cured up, and I'll probably let it cure overnight just to be safe. So for the back layer of our coasters, I thought I would add a nice little punch of color. What is punchier than this? Aptly named Fire Engine. This is a bright AF red. It is beautiful. This is by Dibble Dabble. I bought this in a kit on Amazon, and I think this is gonna be awesome. But we can't just stop there. We can't just do mica powder. Come on. You know we had to do glitter. We just had to. Now what's crazy is this lighting is not showing that there is a lot of red in this glitter, and I don't know why it's not picking up, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, there, you can see a little bit. That's catching it maybe just a little. There's a lot of kind of reds and oranges in there, which I think will look really nice with that fire engine mica. And then of course, it's also just amazing and it's glittery. So this is a heavier glitter. It's probably gonna fall to the front. That's okay. I'm gonna use it kind of sparingly because I wanna make sure that this guy is gonna show through, which I don't think there's any doubt that it will. I mean, look at that. It's like beautiful. In the stand, I'm just gonna do the fire engine red mica with no glitter because I just don't want to detract away from the beauty of the actual coasters themselves. So once those have cured and after I do the demolding, I'm gonna show you guys how I sand down the edges and finish the edges with liquid leaf. It really is such a beautiful gold. Truly. It is lovely. Basically, I just paint this around the very edges of my sanded coasters. All right, we got a pretty good plan going, I think. I'm really excited. Are you guys excited? You ready for this? Ah, be still my heart. I love glitter. Let's do this. You guys know what time it is? It's demolding time. Sorry, I can't contain my excitement because look at this red. Are you seeing this red? Are you seeing it as violently and as beautiful as I am? That's an interesting way to call it, that it's violent and beautiful, but I am in love with this red. In the container, yeah, it looks bright. When you mix it in resin, it explodes. Okay, it doesn't actually physically explode because I wouldn't be here if it did, but it just, the color payoff is beyond amazing. I love this red. And traditionally, I don't really like red, but this is something to behold. Okay, let's just do it. Let's do it. Oh, that sound. Gotta give you a little ASMR, because does anybody else enjoy that besides me? I'm sorry, I'll stop doing that if nobody else enjoys it. I just happen to think it's fantastic. Okay, and you can see it does have a little bit of that pearl effect going on, but not quite as much as some of the other pigments. Oh, the toys. I guess I should have started with the, you know what? I'm doing that to you. Do you see that? I giveth and I taketh away. We gotta start with this guy first, because otherwise, if we do those and do this, it'll be so anticlimactic and it won't be cool. I'm sorry, I know, I'm a jerk. Please forgive me. Let's just pop this guy out. It's still this gorgeous red. All right, first we're gonna get the boring guys out. I filled these with the same as the mica. Ooh, not too many bubbles. Now, like an idiot, I accidentally set my covering container down, and you can see right there, I done jacked it up. So it's all good, I have to sand that down and fix it, but you know. I did not realize that I was on it for sure, otherwise I wouldn't have done it until I was pulling it off. Look at what I did. I wish I could take it back. I wish I could take back what I said about Thor. I know my references are weird, I can't help it. Okay, oh, ASMR. Okay, all right, I gotta be careful because this still only been curing for about 12 hours. But I do find that it comes out more nicely when it's only been curing for about that long. All right. I'm gonna have to do the push stick. I'm probably going to because I do not want to hurt this one. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Oh. Like a dream, it comes out. Thank you again, Vera Supplies. I love you. Okay, oh, there are a couple spots which I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's almost like that to be backlit. There's like a spot right here where the mica didn't get mixed in. Oh yeah, you can see it a little bit. Right there. Just a couple spots, but none of that shows up on this side because obviously they sink to the bottom. So I would probably do it this part up. And let's do the foot test. Let's make sure the little feeties stick in there. Bidoo. Happy as clams. Oh, so cute. This red. Let's set that aside. Now the moment we've been waiting for. Oh, but that noise. It's still so good every time. I can't even get over it. Okay. How does it look? Upside down. Oh, stop it. Oh, yes, look at it. Oh, my goodness. What do you guys think? With this red, I am dying with love. Undying love. Oh, can you see the like Pearl X just does its job and makes that shiny? I don't know if that's coming across. Obviously, I'll do close-ups. Oh, there we go. There you can see a little bit of the pearl. So what's interesting is this part didn't really bloom. And this part bloomed interestingly, but I mean, obviously it's a heart and it's lovely. Oh, my dogs are going crazy. See, they're total fans too. Gosh. And I love how fun the glitter is. It just makes it so fun. And this red, I can't get over this. Why do I love this red so much? I just don't even know, but it is like becoming my favorite color possibly. I mean, it has a little orange in it too, but it's magic. I love it. Okay, moving on. So one of these, I don't know which one, ended up being a little, well, my first one, let's put it that way. The first one that I made the heart out of, it didn't, it was a learning process. And I wonder which one it's gonna be. But that one turned out kind of smaller and a little bit wonky. Oh, they're so cute. Gosh. You see that pearl? And they did bloom, and it's so funny, it's just this spot they didn't want to bloom. And how this kind of bloomed the way that it did, it's a little bit, or maybe that's the way that I did it, but it's interesting. You can see it now, how there's red in that glitter, whereas before in the container you really couldn't see it. I don't know why you couldn't, but it's not just because this isn't a red mica. They do have like a red reflect. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's keep going. Oh, here's our first one. So this I'm gonna say with my learning curve, but it turned out really cute. I like the way the bottom of this bloomed. It didn't have that like such a vertical, geometrically straight line. This one's more organic. Oh shoot, this might be my favorite one. This is the one that was kind of like, oh, it's my learning curve, but maybe I started off right and then went awry. I'm not really sure. Oh, there, you can see that shimmer. Sorry I'm blinding you with my light, but it's just, they're so dynamic. There's so much going on. I love it. Okay. Last but not least. Oh, this was the first one. Okay, I never know. I always think one's one, not. Okay, this was my first learning guide, but I still like it. Oh. I mean, how fun. I did think this one. So and it's funny how they all bloomed a little bit differently. Because this one bloomed more because I started him off smaller in the center. Like how far out they are and how far out they bloom. Because these two, which I started them bigger and a little bit more outside, they didn't bloom as much. But these two, which were smaller, like it's like the closer you are to the center, the more bloom there is. And I think that might actually be, like I think that may be the way that it goes, is, because look, this heart was the smallest, it was in the center, and then I tried to make it bigger, and this one, which bloomed a little bit more, and then these two, I made them bigger in the coaster, but they didn't bloom as much. So if you're working on the 3D bloom, something to keep in mind, the closer to the center you put your item, the more it's gonna bloom out and down. I really like these ones that I made that were smaller and that bloomed more. So I think next time I do this, I will make them smaller and allow them, I'm guessing, to bloom more. Something that did happen, I did kind of a time lapse so you could kind of watch it bloom just a little bit. It was a 20-minute time lapse from when I finished messing with them. I came back and stopped the video, and then about 2 hours after all of that was said and done, I came back to check it to see, of course, how it was blooming because I'm impatient and I needed to see, which is when I noticed I had the dust cover on one of my little feet here, but no big deal. Pulled it off to see it, that's when I noticed, oh, these parts weren't really blooming, just this vertical V here. And it didn't really bloom on all of them. It was the only part that didn't bloom a lot. It's not like it's some noticeable thing, but I thought to myself, oh, I wonder if I can help it along. I wonder if it's too late at this point to use my heat gun and try to warm up the resin again, so just in that area so it can bloom. The interesting thing that did happen was that some of the little bubbles that were still in the clear part of the resin, it popped those bubbles. And then it was still not fully cured, that it's still self-leveled. So that is something that's interesting. And what ended up, it didn't affect the bloom at all, because this is pretty much how much it was bloomed at that point. And you can see, even though I hit it right here with a heat gun, it didn't really make it bloom any more than it would, but it did take care of all those bubbles. So if you guys are really into doing this bloom technique, if you have any bubble issues, that is something to consider. That approximately 2 hours later, it is set up enough that if you come back in and you hit it with that heat gun, you can get rid of those bubbles and it will still self-level. At least that's what happened for me. So it's like the bubbles that were in the piping mixture, the cast and craft mixture, those didn't pop. But the bubbles that were from the clear resin that I poured into the coasters before piping the cast and craft mixture, those are the ones that actually popped and came out. And there were quite a few. And once I noticed, because I was just trying to warm up this area, and once I noticed that those were popping, I then was like, well, I'm just gonna go for the whole thing, and if it blooms more, fine. And I just kind of went over the whole thing. Not very long, I did it on low. It was literally like, I hit this area, and then I was like, oh, they're popping. I was like, let's do a little of that. And that was it, because I am afraid of that whole frozen thing where it just like instantly cures and then can kind of ruin your project. They're amazing. Oh, we gotta put them in the stand. Oh my gosh. Oh. The stand is definitely, they're very malleable. I gotta be careful. Oh, look at them just sitting in there, all full of love and happiness, ready to protect your table from any drinks or spills because they care and they love you. Oh, love it. Love it. All right, now we're gonna finish them. So I'm gonna go with my rotary tool. I'm gonna hit all the edges at like a 45-degree angle just to kind of smooth them out. Then I will kind of wipe everything down, and then I'm gonna come in here and edge these in my liquid gold leaf with a little paintbrush, just kind of paint it all along there, let those dry, and then that'll be it. All right, let's get into how I finish these coasters up. All right, now you've seen how I finish my coasters. What do you think of the finished product? I feel like the gold just adds so much to it. It adds an extra layer of shine. It really goes with the gold glitter that's in there. Oh, I will do close-ups. But I think they turned out lovely. Also, I wasn't sure if I was gonna finish the edges of the stand, but I'm really glad that I did. I didn't add glitter to the stand because I don't want the stand to kind of take away from the beauty of the coasters themselves. I need a little something, so I did give it the gold edging, and I think it turned out really nice. Now I gotta put them back in their stand, yo. Gotta line them up. Ooh. Yeah. There they are. Oh, why does the stand bring me so much joy? I don't know, but it really just does. Ah, I love them. I love them. It's the finished product. What do you guys think? Look at that shine on the edge. Ah, I love it. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed the full, from start to finish tutorial on how I make these coasters. I hope that you liked the love theme. They turned out really cute. Look at this guy. I love this 3D bloom technique. Like I said, there's so many variables on things that go into making it turn out properly, and I'm still kind of learning as we go. So any tips or tricks around the 3D bloom technique to make it a little bit more fail-proof, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to read them, and I'm sure other people that are trying to perfect this technique would also love to have any information. Also, what other shapes would you like to see me do? Any themes? We've already done St. Patty's Day, we've done Valentine's Day. Are there any other patterns or ideas you'd like to see me do with a 3D bloom? Maybe more flowers? Because we only did the flowers that one time, and I feel like I could probably experiment with doing different petals by doing the different shapes. Let me know if you're into that. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss any new videos. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. The sleeves, isn't this fun? It's all bunched. I feel fancy. It's all bunched up and I'm fancy. This arm's a little bit baggy. I'm sure other people who are trying this it's so pretty. Tailspin. Why do I always do that? Like I said, there are so many variables. Who knew this was gonna happen? Not me. Ugh. No, something's wrong. It's a chair. Gotta get it. Turn it. Flip it. Rub it down. It's from Shelly. Because it's organized, you know? I mean, I'm not organized in many places in my life, but in coasters, yeah, I'm organized. I will, with some of the, that was violent. Baggy shirt, baggy shirt, it's a baggy shirt, baggy sleeves on my shirt. Oh, it's such a pop of color. It's potent, it's potent. Tip, just a tip. And coating them edges. So that will make the resin that I pour in, piping bags. Then with some of the, oh my gosh. Love is in the air. I can't sing that because it's copyrighted. Like every great song in the entire world, and that plays in my head. It was a dove. It's like a dove of peace. It was like love, like peace, love, and like, you know, we may even try to write the word love. That's a little aggressive. Do you think I can do that? You better focus. You better do it. Do it, camera. Do it. Please? Boop, 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 boop. I got a lot of stuff to do. Here we go. Let's do it.